So yesterday we've been these past days talking about lines, line segments, and rays. Today we're going to expand our vocabulary to talk about angles, triangles, and quadrangles. So first, let's just take a look. Oh, actually, I think quadrangles is a future lesson, but we'll get there. First, let's just talk about an angle. Everybody say that, angle. Say it 4 times fast. Angle, 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 angle. Notice that it's spelled with the L-E, not an E-L. It's not an angel. It's an angle. So always be careful when you're asked to spell that word. So we have an angle when 2 rays or line segments with the same endpoint form an angle. Now, remember when we were naming lines, line segments, rays? Hold up on your fingers, how many letters would we pick when we were naming those? How many letters would we pick? Good, I'm seeing lots of 2s. Now, when we're naming an angle, we're actually going to pick 3 letters. So, for instance, if I'm labeling this top picture, I'm going to use the letters A, B, C, A, B, C to name this angle. And mathematicians, they always have their notation, right? So in front of that, you need to draw a little angle symbol. This means angle A, B, C. So make sure you have that on there. We could also call it, so A, B, C, C, if I traced it, I would go from A to B to C, and I'm capturing the angle. We could also go backwards from C to B to A. So that's another possible name, CBA. And then I'm going to pick my angle symbol again. Let's see if it'll let me copy it. Perfect. So you can't forget your correct math notation. It could also be called CBA. I'm not allowed to call it ACB. And let me show you why. If I were to try to go trace that and said that path, A, C, if I were trying to show you from A to C, it's not letting me draw on there, bummer. But if I were trying to move from A to C to B, see how I'm going over a different angle now? So you always need the letter in the center where the angle is formed. And we're going to talk about, this is called a vertex. We're going to talk about that on the next slide. So let's go ahead and try naming this guy. I want you to go down and write the 2 names you think for this angle on your notes. Go ahead and write down the 2 names you think for the angle pictured right here. Go ahead and write them. And let me get a volunteer who has those 2 names. What are the possibilities? Bridget. Excellent. Excellent. And notice I have my angle symbol. Make sure you have yours on your notes too. On every single, see, I asked such a great question. Because see how this angle was a big one? And she was like, well, do you still use the same symbol in your notation? Yes. Isn't that funny? No matter what size the angle is, the way you write an angle is you just put that little teeny tiny symbol. No, not anymore, because this symbol stands for angle. And now we're talking about angles. We're not talking about line segments. Okay, so the next word, which I was just telling you about, is vertex. Just like Bridget made sure she put her vertex in the center, when we're naming, that's really important. And the vertex is the point on an angle or a polygon where the 2 line segments or rays meet. So everybody say vertex. If you have more than one of them, you have vertices. Everybody say that. vertices. Now say vertex, vertices. Two more times. Vertex, vertices. Vertex, vertices. Excellent. So see how in this shape, which you might recognize as a square, it has vertices. It has, hold up on your fingers, how many vertices does it have where the line segments are meeting? Hold it up on your fingers. How many vertices do you see? 4. Good. F, E, D, and G. They're all vertices. So for vertex, it's just a special point. So we're going to write for this one the name on the green angle of the vertex. Which letter represents the vertex? You can call it out. There's an arrow pointing to it. Which letter represents the vertex? B. Good. So since it's just a point, when we name it, we just write the one letter. So go ahead on your names, write B for that one. Then this is our old friend. You already know this term because we've been talking about it. Right angle. When did you hear that term before, Luciana? What was this stand for? You want to ask a friend? Yes, when we were talking about perpendicular, we talked all about right angles. So it means, like Lauren said, an angle that measures 90 degrees, also known as a square corner, also known as a quarter turn. Any questions about vertex or right angles so far? Okay, let's look at our last little bit of vocabulary. Some of my favorites. When you have an angle that measures less than 90 degrees, that's called acute angle. And I like to hold up on my fingers, little teeny tiny angle, and say, a cute little angle, in like a baby voice. Do it with me. A cute little angle. And that's how you'll remember the actual mathematical vocabulary, acute angle. And then if you have an angle that measures more than 90 degrees, it's called an obtuse angle. So what you're going to do for that, be aware of your neighbors, but spread your arms out wide and say obtuse angle in a deep voice. Obtuse. Make sure you're not going all the way out with your arms, because this would be a straight line if you went all the way out. We still want an angle, right? Make that angle with your body, but it's a big one, bigger than a right angle, bigger than 90 degrees. So Sophia, you're past obtuse. You want it kind of right in here in front of your body, but bigger than a right angle. You were just stretching, nice. Okay, so show me acute angle and obtuse angle. Excellent. So our last terms for today is a triangle. And a triangle is a special type of shape that has 3 sides and 3 angles. You can look at this prefix tri that actually means 3. So we could have known that a triangle was going to have 3 angles. What other words in the English language have you heard that have that prefix tri, meaning 3? Lauren? Tricycle has 3 wheels. Grace? Oh, no problem. Sophia? A trio? Oh, a trio at Jenny's means you get how many scoops? 3 scoops. That sounds delicious. Emily? Triplets mean you have how many babies? 3 babies. One more, Alba. Trinity, we have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. It's 3 persons in one God. Yeah, Trinity is another cool one. Perfect for Sacred Heart. So triangle has 3 sides and 3 angles. Note, a triangle with 1 right angle is called a right triangle. So in these pictures, do you spot the right triangle? Circle it on your page if you can find it. The right triangle. This middle guy, right? Because he has a right angle, which we can tell because of that good notation. So today you're going to apply that vocabulary as we solve some problems.